Hey everybody, it's Dawn. I know that I've been making these videos for a while, but I never really thought about it until recently about how it affects the people that are around me. So this is Ben. We've been dating for a year and a half,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna ask him a few questions and see how it affects him. So you guys know that it's not just coming from my point of view anymore. Okay, babe.
All right.
All right. What is the hardest thing for you dealing with this disease?
The hardest thing,
Yes.
just seeing what it puts you through. When it's at its worst, we're spending lots of time in the hospital. Uh, it's really hard because both jobs that I work require a lot of my time, and I want to be there with you every time I can. And it means I don't get to spend a lot of time at home sometimes, but it's tough. It's tough seeing you go through that and not being able to take any of that burden. She's smiling. You can't see it. It was like I said exactly what she wanted to hear.
Okay. Next question.
Okay.
What do you think you have gained from
Um,
living this kind of life?
it's uh, it's very humbling when you think about um, how much harder things could be as an individual. Like, I think I have it hard when I'm teaching all the time, or I'm dealing with the theater, um, the high school theater I work with, or anything. When it gets really hard to me, I always remember that it could be a lot worse, and you've definitely taught me that. Um, I mean, you fight for your life every day. Uh, when the hardest it gets for me is just being really busy. Like that's not life threatening. It can be stressful, but like yeah, I always remember that um, that is definitely the worst boat to be in. But I'm just glad that I can be there and be supportive of that. And
Yeah.
um,
No, I was gonna ask a question.
okay, all right.
What for you personally, not me, what would you do differently if you could?
What would I do differently?
Yeah.
Um, add about 8 hours to every day. That would be nice. I'd be totally cool on a 32-hour day. I think. I mean, the thing about um, what we go through and how tough it is it's not about like what you can change. It's more about like what adjustments can you make to make it conditions as good as possible for you and for myself when your illness is at its worst. Um, it's why I try as much as I can to go out of my way to make you food and to make sure things are as good as they can be, and always asking you when I can help, when even during the moments that there isn't really I can anything I can do to make it easier for you. And you know there isn't, I mean, you can't really change a whole lot of the situation. You can just do what you can to make it better, you know
And what are your fears living this life with me?
um I mean, I think it's everybody's fear that cares for somebody that has cystic fibrosis that one day you go in the hospital and you don't come back. The last time you went through surgery, I just remember having a meltdown, and I made a point before they took you away to tell you that I loved you, because I'm like, well, what do I want? What do I want? The last thing I want her to know, in case this is the last time. And I was, very distraught by it. It was tough, and it's hard. It's hard to convey that. I don't spend a whole lot of time talking to other people about it, because it's one of those things that I want to focus on what's good rather than what's bad. Um, and not let it get in the way of work when I can help it.
When things get bad, like the past month, this is Luna, everyone, by the way.
She wants to be part of it.
But this last month was really hard. When things get bad, what keeps you going? I know what keeps me going, but what keeps you going and not saying, well, I don't have to deal with this. I choose to deal with this. Unlike me, I have to deal with this. I don't choose to.
Well, I've learned a long time ago in a completely different situation that when things get really bad, the best thing you can do is, rather than let it stress you out, is just hope for the best and tell yourself that it's not over yet, and keep looking forward to the next minute. Been times in my life I could have just laid down and given up and not done anything, but instead I've been doing everything I've wanted to do, and that includes being with you, and not letting the severity of the situation affect me. Right, Luna? Oh, I know you like your shoulders rubbed.
And the last thing I'm going to ask is if you could tell anybody that's a loved one of someone with CF, if you could give them any advice on dealing with it, or what would you say?
Just always remember there are a lot worse diseases than the ones that are physical and like life changing. There are rotten people in the world, and if you find comfort and you find yourself truly loving somebody, you shouldn't be afraid that their disease is going to mean that can't be everything you want it to be. That it's not fair to yourself to keep yourself from doing everything you can for that person, and that if that's the one, then that's the one. And that's how I feel, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because I'm not with someone that has a perfectly good health that they might take for granted. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As you can see, CF affects a whole bunch of different people, and I just wanted you guys to see the effect it has on not just me. You've come to know me and how it affects me, but not the people I love. And Ben is just one example of someone that I love that it affects deeply. So I hope this has helped any of you. If not, then it hasn't.
Right.
That's the bottom line. But I'm going to be interviewing my mom next. So, and a couple of you guys have seen her on a few videos. But
she's a real riot.
Yeah, they know.
No.
But I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Have a good night.